3, 2, 1. What's going on, everyone? It's Ash Wednesdays. You thought I was going to not do a video on Ash Wednesdays. I usually don't. I haven't done one in a while. We live now in the post-Chronopocalypse world, and everything is going to be different. I actually was going to do a video today. I had planned on it because I got my second book. I don't know if you guys watched my last Ash Wednesday video where I got the Soul Finder book from Doug, unboxed it, and I was all confused because I had two Soul Finders and I was expecting a Soul Finder and a Black Ops, and I was like, oh, well, whatever, I don't care. Like it's free, so I'm not going to, cry about it. I have two Soul Finders, but a few days ago, Black Ops came in the mail. So I got Black Ops too, and I was going to do a video on that today, but I had work to do. So on the good side, I actually had work, which is going to earn me a little scratch. On the bad side, it prevented me from goofing off. So yeah, I unfortunately don't get paid to do this. Unfortunately, I don't get paid to do much, so having a few things come in to earn me a little bit of money is helpful. So how's everyone doing tonight? Now on the new schedule. I do apologize for starting late. I was like, man, I'm going to be good. I got the schedule. I'm going to start at 10. I got things going, and it had nothing to do with streaming. It's my laptop. So I was doing work, as I was telling you about, and I use my PC for my work too. And I was like, okay, cool. I had to move to, I don't record in the same area as doing the work. So I was going to move it. I rebooted the PC, and I went to shut it down. And it's like, oh, you get that screen where Windows is, hold on, don't turn off your computer. Windows is updating, blah, blah, blah. I was like, great. So it took like 15 minutes to do that. I did that like at 9:45, and then finally it was like, oh shit, I rushed it over, hooked up, booted it up, started hooking up my mic, and that's when I came on with my iPad. If you look at the top of the chat, when I came in on my super sneaky personal account on my iPad, at least I could say hi to Nalo, who said, what's up, congratulations being first today. Nalo gets the Ash prize, and yeah, so that's why that was. And having to do all that, wait for it to freaking take 15 minutes, the stupid do updates, and then bring it back. And of course, whenever your PC takes a long time to shut down for updates, it also takes a long time to boot up from update. Oh, please wait while we configure all your updates. So that was my bad. I probably should have done it like a half hour before, so I will work on my punctuality. I would like to get it so it's like exactly at 10, perfect, so you guys can just like set your watch to it. But again, I don't get paid for this, so I'm not going to sweat the small stuff too much. Let's see what's going on in the chat. Who's all here? I already gave a shout out to Nalo. Skip and Tosh is here, number 2 guy, and Jimmy takes a solid 3rd place. Good job, Jimmy. Gets the bronze medal. Let's see. Tahilim's here. His trademark G2CU. Eric Breen is in the house watching Alfred Hitchcock Presents. I remember that show. Dave Asanowicz. You guys ever watch Dave Asanowicz's Wednesday haul videos? I don't even know if they're on Wednesdays anymore because he does mail order, but man, I watch them. They're all on Twitter though. I tried to tell you to do it on YouTube. I watch them on Twitter. They're really fun. They're really cool. Let's see. Lord is in the house. Kay's in the house. What else? Who else do we got going on? Ed Brewer. Good to see Ed. And FF2 is also here. So it's like a bunch of regulars. And that's really cool because that's essentially what this live stream is all about. Is, I'm reading some comics, but also it's an excuse for us to hang out together as fans and shoot the shit and talk about, things we love, comics. Speaking of comics quirks, aka Jimmy says Jimmy is here. I announced that, buddy. Were you not listening when I gave you the bronze medal for being third place? Uh, some Sometimes, what are you gonna do with these kids today? Am I right? Am I right? Um, does anyone have anything interesting to say? Uh, Dave says, "As Ash playing the piano, I wish." Um, and Eric is commenting on his Alfred Hitchcock. I take it to say his back issue television. Nice. Let's see. Any chance you remember Wednesday Comics from DC in 2008 that was on newsprint? I don't remember them because I was personally not in like the comic scene at that time. I was kind of outside it, but I do know about it from sort of hearing people talk about it and seeing it on the periphery. But I didn't get it. Eric says he has them. They were okay. Yeah, that's what I've been been sitting next to me for a month and I haven't read. Uh, when here's the thing, man. When it comes to most any form of media, like the A-list stuff is gonna be the best. That's really kind of what you should kind of typically go for, um, until you really know what until you're like really into something, and then you can dive deeper. I pretty much that's how I usually approach any sort of medium. I go for what's the popular stuff. What is everyone talking about? What's the big thing? Because when you don't know enough to make your own discerning decisions, you kind of have to do that way. It's like, say you were getting into anime. You wouldn't dig deep for some of the weird, obscure stuff because you'd be so hit or miss. So your best bet is to go for the stuff that checks the most boxes, hits all the most demographics, and start to get a feel of what they're like. Something like My Hero Academia would be a perfect example. And then once you decide, hey, I really like this medium, explore deeper. So I would have never, even if I was into comics, I don't know if I'd have checked out that or not. It was kind of a neat thing. If I remember right, it was kind of done like a newspaper. Let's see. Ed says, wait, skip up ahead before Ed. Eric says, better do tomorrow's from the breach before they close them again. What? I don't know. He's talking about. Ed Brewer says, Birthright and Superman, this is going to be awesome. Yes, it is going to be awesome. Dave says, you want me to blast licensed music on YouTube? I do. I just did. You just listen to some. I get flagged all the time. Unless you're making money, it doesn't really matter. They just do a copyright claim, and then the person who owns the copyright, they just get the money. But they're not getting any real money from me because I don't make my channel's not making anything. Actually, and then what I do after the live stream is I'll go edit it out when I'm not lazy. I've been kind of lazy about that. Comics, Quirks is asking Breen about Batman universe. Dave says just like our universe, but with Batman. Nice. And Dragon Majesty has graced us with his presence. How you doing, Your Majesty? Eric says your governor is closing the beaches and parks again on May 1st. Are you talking about my governor? Because my governor's closed pretty much everything in California. So we're going to be on fascist lockdown for the unforeseeable future. And what's killing me is the no one here, because we're a huge liberal cesspool of a state. Everyone just buys the party line, so it's like, it's all gonna be okay. This is what we have to do to make things better. Meanwhile, like no one has a job, no one can do anything. It's like, and it'll wait until we're eating our pets before people start freaking realizing it, because that's what happens when you support socialism. It's hard to critique it until it's destroying your life. And even then, some people continue to support it. Let's see. Comics Work says told ya. I don't know. I don't. I don't know what Quarks was talking. Eric says, I guess he's double closing them. Yeah, I guess so because the beaches have been closed. I mean, they've been fining people for weeks. That guy. Remember that guy in L.A. that he was paddleboarding by himself, paddleboarding out in the ocean by himself, and the freaking Coast Guard came and got him. Like, if that's not a total, not just an abuse of power, but an absurd use of resources, like all the money it must cost to dispatch a Coast Guard patrol boat, all that stuff, just to get one dude who's out not hurting anyone. He's out by himself. He's paddleboarding. Who cares? Apparently there's been a commercial. I was listening to Joe Rogan. Haven't seen the commercial for myself yet, but there's a commercial out that's a state-sponsored commercial about the police hiding in parks. If anyone can find this, by the way, please, if you find this commercial, because I have not found it myself yet, it's they're hiding in parks, waiting to nab you, like catch you going to the park when you're not supposed to. And they like made an advertisement kind of similar to those buckle up commercials, like to scare you, like, oh, we're watching you. And apparently it's like really crazy draconian, like right out of some sort of dystopian future movie. Just like, what the fuck, like the government has made a video, like, but it's, and I haven't found it. I just heard him talking about it on the show, and I was like, man, damn it, put a fucking link next time. I want to see this thing. But if anyone else finds it, by please forward it my way. I want to see this. Let's see. Dave says, are you sure? I uploaded a video on my other channel with Ramstein in the beginning of 2007. Got a copyright strike years later. They stripped the audio off the whole video. Now, Dave, was it a copyright strike or a copyright claim? And I ask that because, the terms are pretty similar and I misuse them. I mix them up all the time when I'm talking about it. If it's copyright claim, then if you go into YouTube's little rules and whatever and stuff, they'll tell you, like, if this is the case, you're okay. You don't have to do anything. Just understand that the claimant has the right to now monetize your video and you will not get anything for it. It does not count as like they're going to close your channel or anything. Now, a strike is where they're like, you got our content and, we're filing a direct, like the claimant's like almost like a cease and desist almost. And that can be a little bit more severe. But I have not really heard of that happening with music. That usually happens where people like show footage of TV and movies and stuff. Let's see. Everyone needs to stay in until the last celebrity films We Are All This Together video. Says Eric. And then Jimmy says, I got suspended from Twitter 2 days ago because of a video I posted 3 years ago. Good Lord. Yeah, Twitter is one of the most draconian. I mean, we make jokes all the time about the left, the blue check marks and stuff, but jokes are funny because they have elements of truth to them. And I swear to you, the blue check mark is like today's version of the party armband. You remember, like, what the Germans would put the little armband around them to show their allegiance to the party. The Russians might have done that too. But the blue check mark is, I swear, every blue. Anyways, SSJ Future Gohan. I don't see him off my channel very often. Good to see you, man. We got a whole little party going on here tonight. Let's kick up the thumbnail. You can see here, it wouldn't be an Ash Wednesday if it wasn't something on my pull list. So I got a comic haul. You're going to watch it live. I'm going to buy comics live with you right now. I got Superman Man of Tomorrow. There it is in my cart. I'm going to proceed to the checkout. I got a big haul today. complete my order. 88 cents. Here it is. Through the magic of internet e-commerce. We're going to complete the order. Sending a request to Facebook. Why is it sending a request to Facebook? What? What the? Down here in the lower left corner is like sending request to... That's eerie. There you go. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm doing because I didn't transition the screen. Oh man, the high production values. Nalo says, Ash, we can't see your screen. I don't know what you're talking about. It's right there, buddy. It's right there. So that's here it is, my comic haul. Your purchase is successful. Boom. Sold by Comixology. Superman Man of Tomorrow, number 2. Go read in my books. So I click on my books. Is it going to send that to Facebook too? I don't even use Facebook hardly. Like, I just started using it a little bit again. I made an Ash on Comics account. But I don't really like it. Bing! Here we go. Recently purchased books. Eric says, first day on YouTube. It might as well be, buddy. Might as well be. I'm a noob for sure, for sure. Bianca Fights the Zombies is also joining us. It's like a comic book party. This is great. Maybe if I do this and keep a schedule and I don't have all these problems, maybe we can get 20 people in the... Maybe I can start rivaling Englandine with like 25 people in a chat. That'd be amazing. Gotta have reasonable goals. Let's see. Nala says I'm getting hacked by Zuckerberg. Yeah, that'd be fun. FF2 says Venditti Superman better than Bendis. Who agrees with me? Say aye. Oh man. I think Venditti's scribble notes are probably better. But I'm not here to make fun of Bendis. Taking a little drink. You should always have a refreshment when you're doing streams like this, especially if you're doing all the talking like me. Tonight, in remembrance of my friend Eric Breen, I'm drinking Coke Zero. That's right. Poisoning myself because if coronavirus won't get me, poison myself with phenylalanine. Or maybe phenylalanine fights coronavirus. Maybe Trump should say something like that. Man, it is driving me batshit, to tell you the truth. I don't want to keep going on the politics, but this is just funny. It is driving me batshit with the fake news about everyone saying that Trump told people to drink bleach when there's nowhere even close did he ever say that. And it's like, it's been so disproved. Like it's I don't want to say it's just been disproven because it never had any legitimacy at all. It just had Trump. If you haven't seen the video, you can go find the whole uncut video. And it's a 70-year-old guy who doesn't really understand the science standing in front of a podium saying, I've been seeing some things about some interesting ideas and things that are approaching and the things they can do with some disinfectants. And I guess you guys are looking into that. Is that right? Yep. And then UV light, you guys are looking into that too? Yeah. Like it's like that. And then because the word disinfectant was used, basically it's like Trump says to drink bleach and Lysol. No, he didn't. Meanwhile, speaking of draconian Twitter, I don't know the name of the company, but I found out, I guess there was this bio company, biopharmaceutical something or other company that actually has a real actual disinfectant. It's I guess it's uses what's that, like hydrogen peroxide and some other things in the form of an inhaler, and it aerosolizes it, and so you can inhale essentially and disinfect your lungs. And this is like a real thing. This company has been, I guess, was banned or kicked off of Twitter, even though they're like a real company with a real product. And even though Trump said disinfectants, people are still like, oh, no, he meant Lysol. It's just like, it's driving me nuts, all the misinformation. And regardless of where you fall on the fence, I'm not here to say about Trump good, Trump bad, or anything. I'm just talking about truth. Just truth. Just people need to fucking stop lying. Okay? Just tell the freaking truth. It drives me bananas. If you have to lie about your position, then your position is wrong. If you have to tell me, if you have to make up some story, oh, Trump said to drink fish tank cleaner, then you're wrong. You're a bad person because you didn't say that. And if Trump is wrong, you wouldn't have to make up anything. You wouldn't. You don't have to make up anything. I've talked about Trump long enough. The stream's probably going to get shadow banned to hell because I mentioned all the bad keywords that the YouTube bots will scrub. Hopefully I haven't pushed anyone away. Hopefully you don't mind me blabbing about my opinions. Again, like I said, this is just more about, I'm not trying to be political. It's just driving me nuts with the amount of just misinformation and lying and people are doing out there. And it's not what we need. We're fighting a freaking global pandemic, and we're like a little freaking bitch cat fight over semantics. It's so stupid. Dragon Majesty says, I would rather read Venditti's grocery list than most Bendis projects. Yeah, man. I might have to agree. Nalo says, Quark's Bendis, Superman, and Event Leviathan are literally some of the worst books I've ever read. Well, Nalo, you have not read What If Deadpool Became Venom? Because that was, holy shit, was that bad. That was tough to just read out loud. And it was so bad that wasn't even like you could make fun of it bad. It was just painful. Nalo makes more comments about Leviathan, to which I agree. Ed says, I understand what Biden meant, but not what Trump meant. They understand what Biden meant, but not what Trump meant. It's silly. I know. And speaking of Biden, the dude's been like hiding for like the past month. He's nowhere to be seen. And when every once in a while, he'll get put on, like he was on a CNN, remoted in to CNN, and like the guy apparently like went nonsensical for like 20 seconds, and they just covered for it. It's so obscene. So obscene. If you're a liberal, I respect your views. And if you have, liberal candidates that you've supported and you have liberal ideology, I don't agree with it, but I can try to respect it. But I cannot respect anyone who wants to vote in a mental invalid to the highest office of the land when we're at one of the biggest crises this country has ever faced. It just defies all comprehension that a guy can't even speak straight. You would be like, oh, we're in the biggest crisis we've ever faced. Vote him because spray tans are bad. Like, what the hell? And again, it's not about ideology. It's just about, look, the dude is mentally unfit. What would happen is if he won, he would win and they'd inaugurate him and then immediately be declared unfit for office because he's not fit for office. So basically whoever's his running mate is who's really running for president. Let's see. I watched the speech live and it was so confused when I saw all these people telling us he inject. Yeah. If you watch that actual speech, you're like, what? Where did you get this from? But here's the thing. CNN knows most of the country is stupid. They especially know most of their viewers are stupid because you can't continue to watch CNN without, unless you're one of those people who are watching them to criticize them. if you're actually watching them because you think they're a legitimate news channel, then you are stupid. Like, they're so beyond the pale, like, obvious fake. People have been calling them fake for years, but now they don't even hide it. They're so exposed, and they just go, you know what? We've been exposed for years, and we still get viewers, so, like, just keep putting it out there and just pretend it's not real. Eric says, where's this blue check mark? You get a blue wrench, man. You get a blue wrench. Kay says, no politics and religious talk. I'm sorry, buddy. We haven't really talked about religion. We're just talking a little politics. And honestly, I don't even really consider this politics. I just consider this like current events. Like, what I consider this is just talking about fake media. Like, again, I'm not arguing points. I'm arguing someone said something and another person lied about what he said. So let's go ahead and stray away from this nonsense, shall we? And read a good Superman book, because that will cleanse our palate. I think I got so far into the weeds on this that I think Venditti will save us. In Venditti we trust. Superman, Man of Tomorrow, Against the Odds. Wait a second, where's the issue number? Where's the issue number? I guess issue numbers don't matter on digital comics since you can't collect them. They have no collector value is what I should say. And there's no reason, therefore, to put a big number 1 or something on there to try to sell books, because it doesn't matter. It's the only reason I can think to leave numbers off. Anyways, sorry. I'm so salty. You know what it is? It's this Coke Zero. It's got high sodium. Against the Odds. Issue 2. I did it issue 1 a couple episodes ago if you missed it. Or if you haven't bought your own copy and read it, shame on you. Metropolis. Vote no! Vote no! Cassie, no! People really turned out to oppose the new law. Do you blame them, Clark? If they wanted to live in Atlantic City, they'd be living in Atlantic City. Jimmy, get shots of the picket signs. Vote no! All right, that's good enough. Let's move inside. The city council is about to gavel in. Clack, clack. If everyone will take their seats, this meeting of the Metropolis City Council is called to order. I'm Council President Andrew Davidson. Today we'll be discussing the proposal that I've sponsored to legalize casinos within city limits. We'll begin by hearing from the public. They'll gobble up local businesses. Not next to my kid's school. It'll make downtown a haven for degenerates. Excuse me, Councilman Donaldson, sir? Yes, the well-mannered gentleman in the front. You have a question? Nice. Get it? The well-mannered. You should have said mild-mannered. That would have been even more on the point, Venditti. Clark Kent with the Daily Planet. What's your response to the very impassioned belief that many citizens that legalized gambling will bring in an increase in crime, particularly organized crime? A reporter. I see. Mr. Kent, was it? Well, Mr. Kent, my response is those are incorrect assumptions, not facts. Casinos bring quality jobs and increase tax revenues. Metropolis will be better for it. It's time for the city of tomorrow to step out of the past. I like my city the way that it is. This isn't why you were elected. Did you get what you needed, Lois? It'll do. Davidson never gives me quotes anymore, not after my article about the council's misuse of funds. This isn't your beat, so I took a chance that he wouldn't recognize you. Plus, you look like a real softball. Are you suggesting I'm not intimidating? I love you, Smallville, but you say please and thank you too much to be intimidating. Humph. Gee, thank you. Radio to closest patrol units. Alarm going off at Kane's Jeweler on Jurgens in Maine. Jurgens in Maine. Nice. I have to go. You have to go back to the planet? Or you have to, go. I have to go. Those street hot dogs are doing a number on me, too. Nice, Jimmy. Watch out for the security cameras. They have security cameras in the bathroom? Sorry. That was kind of funny. You're up, Jimmy. Here's another question for Davidson. Get me another quote. Me? I'm a photographer for a reason, behind the camera. I don't really like being in front of people. Time to get out of your shell. There's something more going on with this casino issue. Nothing happens in my city that I don't know about. Eyewitness sees armed robbery in progress. 2 Caucasian males with guns. Bum, 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 bum. Lieutenant Taylor to all units. Run code. Eyewitnesses states that there are civilians at the location. Up and away. Hurry up. I'm hurrying. Which stuff is the good stuff? We're taking too damn long, man. We need more to cover what we owe the gambler. You're about to owe the state 15 years for armed robbery. Superman, let us go. We won't hurt anybody. You're right about that. You guys must be new at this. You forgot to load your guns. What are you? Go. Tell my wife and kids I'm sorry. Crack. Smashes it against Superman's chest. Didn't really think that through, did you? Now, first of all, as cool as that kind of is, I defy you to take a firearm like this and just you could smash it against a boulder and it's not going to break apart like that. But it's comic books. Moving on. The other guy running away with the bag. Ah! Whomp. His partner gets thrown on top of him. Superman dusting his hands off. Clink. The bag gets thrown back to the store. The store workers looking on with bright eyes. Superman flying away with the perps. Punctual, isn't he? And exactly where I wanted him to be. You called it, Mr. Sharp. Of course I did. Superman is the safest bet there is. Meanwhile, at the Daily Planet building. My gut says that there's a story, Perry. I looked into the 2 jewelry store thieves and sure, they're in debt, maxed out credit cards, behind on mortgages, but neither has any criminal history. As far as I can tell, they didn't even know each other before the robbery got wrong. I mean, they forgot to load their guns. Everybody has a first day on the job, Kent. My police source told me that's a new pattern, an unusual number of first-time criminals, all with money problems. Click, click, click. Everyone has money problems. You should know that. You're in the newspaper business. But my source says it's uncommon for many law-abiding citizens to suddenly get desperate and resort to crime. And it isn't just robbery. There's an increase in nonviolent crime across the board. Come on, you cheat, Clark. Are you listening to me, Perry? What, is this a holdup? I'll teach you to steal from me, rattle, rattle, rattle. Clark nudges it with his super nudge. Whoom. Clunk. Glad something around here knows who's boss. I want permission to dig into this story. This is Superman's hometown, Kent. Ground zero for insane villains of all stripes trying to take over the world. But you want to chase a story about a couple of dunce jewel thieves? I do, because the answer's no. Help Lois with that casino story. That's the biggest news happening right now. The end. That went as expected. No. I know there's more to it. I trust you, but Perry is just doing his job, and I could use some help on the background on the casino proposal. By the way, I noticed you have on a different suit than you were wearing this morning. Care to explain? I stashed the other suit in the alley behind the city hall. When I came back for it, a homeless man was wearing it. I know you wouldn't want me to take it from him. And I gave him my last $20. Keep it up and we'll be knocking over jewelry stores to make ends meet. I love you. I know. Elsewhere. $100 on bank robbery. Pays out 12 to 1. Natural disaster, 7 to 1. You want in for $1,000? 500 on the interplanetary threat. Pays out 5 to 1. You know the score, lady. If you want to get out from under, light the match on the condemned building I told you about, or I really make you pay. And move fast before Superman turns out for something legit and tanks the whole thing. Never know what'll happen in this town. I understand, gambler. Good. Make sure she gets where she's going, boys. The jewelry thing cleaned up, boss. Still making collections, but it's over 50 grand already. Right on pace. No one bet on a jewelry heist, so I orchestrated one to make sure everyone lost. Now they're betting double to try to cover. My little firebug will make sure they don't. Running book on Superman pays, but there's bigger money to be had. My casino will scratch the gambling itch of every frat boy and pensioner in the state. We'll need dump trucks for all the cash. We're going legal. Midtown. Luther Properties. Building on fire. It's kind of a rundown building for Luther's. Like, even without the flames, I mean, look at those boarded up windows. Help! Help! She's trapped. Oh, God. The building was supposed to be empty. There's a girl up there. Help! Somebody help! Whoosh. Boom. Superman flies in. Stay where you are. I'm coming to get you. Grumble. The ceiling collapses on top of him. Whoosh! It's collapsing! Thwoom! Superman emerges with the crying victim. He flies over to the nearest first responders. This girl needs medical attention. Down here, Superman. Kaboom! You're gonna be all right. She almost died. Everyone is safe, ma'am. The rest of the building was empty. No harm done, except to Lex Luthor's real estate portfolio. They said no one was inside. They swore. I had to pay them back. Who swore? Pay who back? I can't tell you. You're friends with the police. I have kids at home. It's for them that I had to try something. You don't have to tell me. But if you want to talk, I know someone who will keep your secret. You can trust him. Town diner. We see the woman sitting in a booth. Elise? Ellery? Yes, that's me. Hi, my name's Clark Kent. I'm a reporter for the Daily Planet. Superman says you needed help. A rent-controlled apartment tower. What the? Oh my gosh. That's a panel that can be taken out of context. Honey, I'm home. Maybe even an hour some people consider dinner time. Hey, Lois. And of course he's drinking pop. Uh-oh, you're hitting the pop. What happened? I was right about the recent string of crimes. There is a story here. The story is me. There's a man calling himself the Gambler who runs a betting ring on where Superman will be next. When his customers get in over their heads, he makes them commit crimes at the time and place of his choosing, so the house wins. What? Why would anyone bet on where the lives will be in danger next? Why do people bet on anything? Because they're desperate. All I know is that I'm trying to do good, but it's just leading to a different kind of bad. Clark, you're the strongest thing on the planet, and you use it to help people. That could never be bad. But Superman or not, you're only one man. You can't change the world. I have to believe I can. If I change 2 people and they change 2 more, pretty soon the world is better. I know it can happen. That's why I love you. I know. Breakfast for dinner? I'll make omelets. Sounds great. I picked up fresh eggs from my parents' farm. Other husbands go to the store for eggs. Mine goes to Kansas. By the way, I checked into something for you. It might help. Didn't Perry tell me to help you with the casino story? Yeah, well, I follow my own hunches. Anyway, a source inside the district attorney's office told me that one of the jewelry thieves confessed. He said 2 meathead types blindfolded him before driving into the place where he got orders to rob the store. One of them mentioned the old port warehouses. Whoosh! Now who will be late for dinner? At the old port. Time to pick our last winners, boys. Set it up. I want a stolen vehicle chase. Make it something big and dangerous. Midnight on the dot. With all the bets we took, no one went with that. The house wins, and we keep it all. Casino, here we come. Don't bet on it, gambler. We've been ratted out. Earn your money, boys. You sure he pays enough? Guess that's a yes. Ba-ting, 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 ba-ting. I'll give you an honest opinion. Whoom. You're overpaid. Run him down. Did he just crash a forklift into Superman? What the? I gotta rewind this. Run him down with the forklift. Crunch. Forget this. The gambler can cover his own end. Say hello to the police waiting outside. Wham! I'm not sure what's happening here. Clark's using his heat rays, his heat vision. Clark, I should say Superman. He looks up at the office, then crashes out the side. We see two big bruiser types. Why? Do these guys, is this not Metropolis? Do they not know who Superman is? Like, why would anyone be standing up to him like this if you didn't have superpowers? Superman just gives him a smirk. Thwack. And flicks him with his fingers. The house loses, gambler. All the money is going back to the people you cheated, and you're going to prison. Gag! Okay. You beat the odds, Superman. But there's one last surprise you won't expect. I'm the victim here. This whole betting ring is because someone higher up demanded payment in exchange for me getting my casino. It would have been a nice joint. I just needed to break a few laws to make it happen. Once the district attorney hears that what I have to say, I'm sure he'll offer me a deal. Where do I find this mystery criminal? The place where all the worst crooks hang out. City Hall. Councilman Davidson, what do you have to say about the charges against you? Did you take $5 million in exchange for a promise to sponsor a casino legislation? The latest news is the casino bill will be voted down. You can read all about it while you're waiting for your arraignment. Get me a humiliating one, Jimmy. I want to see tears. Councilman Davidson, any comment? Want to grab a bite? Want to grab a bite at the town? Rain check, actually. I have a story to write. A bunch of citizens who are down on their luck suddenly and mysteriously found all their money lost and returned to them on their doorsteps. Have an inside tip on that one, too, do you? Sorry, Miss Lane. I can't reveal my source. Next, Toy Story. Oh, maybe we'll get to see Forky. There it is. Superman, Man of Tomorrow. What do we rate this book, huh? All right, we're thinking about that. I'm going to check the chat because it's been a little while. I just powered through that one. I didn't stop halfway through. I haven't decided which is better. Skip, when he reads his, he'll like read a little bit, check the chat, read a little bit. He kind of manages to do both. I think I don't do that because I get way too distracted and then I sit and read a bunch of chat. So I don't know. I don't know what works better yet. Let's see. Eric says no great pumpkin talk either. All right. No great pumpkin talk. SS, how to say Gohan. Gohan says it's not politics really. It's life. Can't go anywhere without seeing the drink bleach memes. No kidding. Gohan says, "Oh, Pelletier on the art. Goodness gracious, this will look pretty." It does. I think the last issue looked a little better. But I do like this guy's art. His Superman face is a little, I'm not used to it. Let's see. Dave says I'm gambling legal. Making gambling illegal just creates a black market. Amen. Pretty much making anything you make illegal creates a black market. We learned from the Prohibition, right? When they tried to make alcohol illegal. The answer is make things legal and let society sort it out. Society is pretty good at that, actually. If you just give people the freedom to live their life, they'll figure out which is the best way to live. And, there's always going to be people that mess things up. But guess what? They're there even under severe totalitarian regimes, too. Like, it's... anyways, let's see. The villain looks better and comes off better than Invisible Mafia. Oh, yeah, you're talking about the Superman issue. Yeah, this villain... I do actually like the villain in Invisible Mafia. Um, I thought she was really kind of compelling, but the story never went anywhere. It was like, hey, yeah, I'm gonna write this interesting villain, and then nothing. It was the same thing that happened with Rogol Zar. It was like, ooh, who's this guy? He's the guy who destroyed Krypton, actually. Oh, okay, nothing happened. The story didn't matter. Um, yeah. But this one, yeah, I agree. What I liked about this book is it kind of almost had a Silver Age kind of, even almost a Golden Age kind of feel. Like, I don't know if that's correct to say. It had an old time classic feel. It definitely had some modern tropes to it, and the writing was obviously more modernized, but it had that classic feel of like, kind of goofy gangsters of like, we're gonna get this crime and Superman will never figure it out, like, and it wasn't about Superman thwarting like the most heinous, next doomsday villain thing that's going to destroy the universe. It was a bunch of goons that were no match for Superman, but it reminded me of stories that I might have seen in the old Fleischer Superman animated series from back, when was that? Like in the 40s. It just had that old classic feel. And Dave says you should crumple paper for fire sound effects. Geez, I should yeah, I guess I should hire a professional Foley artist team so I can really spruce this channel up. Dave says this is like a plot from the old George Reeves Superman show. Yeah, that's exactly kind of what I was saying. That show too. I forgot about that show. I mean, I didn't forget about it, but it wasn't on my mind. Yeah, it had that old classic feel. Ed says, look at that image. Superman drinking. Oh, Coke Zero, never mind. Superman would not drink Coke Zero. I can pretty much assure you. FF2 says, man, tomorrow 5 out of 5. Wow, that's a high rating from FF2. Ed says, whoa, the councilman. Yep. Who would have known? Who would have known that the politician was the villain all along? I'm gonna give that a 4. I thought that was fun. A fun story. I don't know if I would want this to be the ongoing Superman book. I mean, I would prefer this over what's going on right now. But this isn't really what I want from an ongoing Superman either. This feels like a side Superman type thing. And it's fine. It's good for what it is. I very much enjoy it. And this is purely subjective on my part. I like the longer game stories. I like bigger story arcs. This would be fun in some sort of like, if DC did like a DC Comics Presents and had like just rotating stories of, fun character adventures and things like that. And it's fun for these digital comics to pick up and read. I'm definitely enjoying them. Infinity definitely captures the classic super vibes. Yeah. And I like some of the lines that were in this. This the little moments that you as a comic book reader were like, oh yeah, like the well-mannered. But I want to say like Venditti was trying to do, because it's like the whole line where, by days, mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent. I forget the line where they actually used to say, but it was like, yes, you, the well-mannered guy in the front. I was like, oh, nice. And then the street name was like Jurgens. That was pretty cool. Not many comments, though. You guys were all lively when I was talking about politics. And then I stop and I get into the comic books, which is what you guys want. And I actually lose I actually lose viewers. I don't understand this. I don't get it. What am I doing wrong? Alrighty. Sometimes this Comixology app is so slow on the PC. Boing. There we go. All right. Whew. I need another drink. Are you guys ready for the final issue of the first arc of Birthright tonight? I know you're looking forward to it. This is a good book. Good book. Skip says, lol, I said nothing when you talk politics. No, yeah, I know. No one was really seemed upset. It just, it's just me and the self-consciousness of like, oh, Ash, people don't want to hear you talk about politics. And then I expected people to be kind of more, oh, what are you doing? We're here for the comic books, you monkey. Get back to reading, like, um, so, and now that I'm not reading and I'm back to talking about this, my the viewers going up. It's funny. Let's see. Dave says, "Who disguised as a mild?" Yeah, that's it. He quotes, "Who disguised as mild-mannered reporter Clark Kent?" Yeah, mild-mannered reporter. I haven't watched those George Reeves Supermans in a long time. When I was a little kid, oh man, I used to spend every summer at my grandparents' house, um, and so I got to do some activities with them and travel across the country and see a lot of places and stuff. But I also spent a lot of downtime, and so I watched a lot of TV. And they lived, um, they lived out in the middle of bumfuck nowhere. It was like little place outside of Palm Springs, and they had this ranch, and there was like two channels, two or three channels, and so I could only watch what I could watch. But the good thing was is they were pretty well off. So they were like one of the first people with a VCR. And so actually they had a beta machine. And so I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember. Breen might remember. Before Blockbuster, can anyone remember what Blockbuster was before Blockbuster? Um, I want to see if anyone can remember what was the Blockbuster before Blockbuster. Before they got bought by Blockbuster, I should say. Uh, the premier place to go get your movies. Yeah, Dave's quoting, "Fights a never-ending battle for truth, justice, and the American way." Mm. Uh, I don't think you guys are gonna. I don't see anyone typing it in. Am I the only one who remembers? Anyways, okay, so before Blockbuster bought them, they all went away. Um, there was a place called Video Library. Video Library was like the big, in the early days. Like this is like early when, before Hollywood Video even. Um, and then VCRs in the early days were really expensive, so a lot of people didn't have them. I know I sure we didn't have one, but my grandparents did. So during the summer, they would have one, and there was a video library in town, and we could go and we could like pick out movies, and it was like the most amazing thing. You guys take all this shit for granted. We can just go on the internet and download stuff, but like back then, if a movie came out in theaters and you missed it, it's gone. You're like, I heard about this movie, but and then another thing is I remember when they got HBO. HBO was this amazing thing too because they showed movies. And I remember spending one summer with them, and they showed Star Wars on HBO. and I think I just watched that like every day, sometimes multiple times a day, just blah, Star Wars, which is not something I would do anymore for any movie because we so take it for granted. But again, like back then, you were just like, I can see this on the TV. Like what? Yeah, it was so crazy to me to be able to go to the store and like pick a movie and be like, we can go and take this home and we can watch a movie on our TV. Uh, Man, it was so early. Like the remote control on the VCR was hooked to a cable. It wasn't a wireless remote. It was literally a wired, like it was plugged into the VCR on a cable. Um, Anyways, I'm just giving you guys my old stories. But anyways, that's why I got to watch a lot of old school TV. And the George Reeves Superman was one of the ones I watched a lot of because it was dope. Jordan Pop is in the house. He says, wow, I just found my old Hollywood video card not too long ago. Nice. Ict Vinny, or is that ICT Vinny? I don't know. I'll just call him Vinny. How you doing? Good to see you, bud. Let's see. Computer Robots has joined us. What's up, Computer Robots? How long before you take over the Earth? He says, I just got here. Hope Ash isn't almost done. Almost done. What does stream? Someone's got to work on robots' language programming there. Let's see. Computer Robots says Ash is even more hilarious on Twitter. Yeah, Twitter I get pretty unscripted. I just don't care. Yeah, if you want to follow me on Twitter, you're welcome to, but I'm going to be pretty unfiltered. Let's see. HBO, I remember watching episode 5 for the first time. Oh, nice. Yeah. I watched all the Star Wars on HBO eventually, but just that first time to be like, what? I can see Star Wars again? Because, you got to remember, like back in those days, I remember going to see Empire Strikes Back. I got to see Empire Strikes Back in the theater because my grandfather took me. And it was like, ooh, good to see Empire Strikes Back. It's like the sequel to Star Wars. But it wasn't like you could just be like, oh, yeah, we just popped it in the VCR, whatever, like a month, to refresh our memory. Like, you were just like, this movie that we saw, and then we went and saw it, and then it's gone. And then 3 years later, when Return of the Jedi is coming out, it wasn't like I could watch. You couldn't watch Star Wars and Empire Strikes Back. Maybe you could watch Star Wars. I'm not sure if that was out on HBO at the time yet. And these movies, they didn't come out like today. Like it's like, oh, it's been in theaters and 3 months later it's out on video. Like even when HBO did come around and you could home box office do it, these were movies that were like out years ago. It wasn't like, oh, 6 months ago this was just out. No, you were catching old stuff. Let's see. You figure I was born in 1981. Okay, I was 73. Let's see. Dave says, never heard of Video Library, but we had an independent video store before Blockbuster came in, and yeah, you could rent VCRs. Oh, rent VCRs. Yeah, that would actually make sense because they were crazy expensive. I want to say that my grandparents, the VCR they bought was about $1,000, which if you factor in like early 80s, $1,000 for a piece of video equipment, that's nuts. I mean, that would be like, imagine today going to buy a Blu-ray player and paying like 10 grand for it or something, like you'd just be like, are you high? Why would I do this? Let's see. It's almost 2:30 in the morning. It says Computer Robots, so that's why you see my grammar so poor right now, because I'm tired. Wait, I thought robots didn't get tired. What's going on? Vinny says, Return of the Jedi was the very first movie I saw as a kid at the theater, freshly arrived in the U.S. It was awesome. Nice. Awesome. My first movie was Star Wars. and it was equally awesome to my eyes. And Return of the Jedi, to this day, is my favorite movie of all time. So, there you go. Jordan Pop says, "Yay! Now I'm not the only old one anymore." Right on, the old people unite. Someone wake up Breen. Huh? Breen? What? Where is he? Where am I? All right. Well, I can only blather on for so long. Um, I've got comics to read and Coke Zero to drink. I read these comics that I try to pick out that Eric Breen would like, and he doesn't hang around. I feel a little bit let down. I should pick out some anti-Breen comics. No, I'm just kidding. By the way, I still haven't really heard a lot of feedback in what I should be reading after Birthright. So I guess I'm gonna have to make some decisions because 2 days from now I'm gonna have to start something new. Could be Silver Surfer, I suppose. Are you guys ready for Birthright? Have you been following along, by the way? That's the important thing. Have you been following along? No, actually, more important is anyone smashing the like button? Not a single like. It's a good thing that I'm not one of those like guys on the street like playing with a hat on the ground, hoping to throw a few bucks in, because I don't think I would be good. I don't think anyone would ever do that for me. There's a little thumb up button or a thumb down button, and you can click it. Oh, I just clicked the thumb down because I'm a moron. You can share on your favorite social media. You can help me out here because, just get a little bit of love on this YouTube world. Let's see. Computer Robots, Fantastic Four, Punisher. Okay, keep that in mind. Jordan Pop says, read Venom Lethal Protector. Wait, are you saying read it or that you read it? If you read it, cool. If you're saying read it, unfortunately, I won't be reading it. Invincible or Quantum and Woody, says Kay. Man, you really like the Quantum and Woody. I have never seen anyone so enthusiastic about Quantum and Woody. Usually when it comes to Valiant, it's Exo or Bloodshot or Rye or Dinge K. But the Quantum and Woody, that's cool. Jordan says, I think there's like 13 likes, Ash. Really? My screen says 0. Well, that's probably just YouTube effing me up. But thank you. I appreciate that. Let's go ahead and get into the comic. It's getting close to the half past the hour. Going to be running long. Well, actually, no, because I started late. It's haven't been going as long as I thought. All right. Birthright, issue 6. There will always be pain and suffering on this cursed path. I thought I taught you better than this, hero. How could you? You were supposed to save us. Your soul belongs to Lore now, boy. Ah! Mikey, you're having a nightmare. Hey! Wake up! What? Whoa! Hey, it's me, Mikey. Brennan, I, I, I'm sorry. I don't know why I. You were screaming in your sleep. Like, really screaming. It was insane. I was having a dream. Nothing more. More like a nightmare. You freaked me out. What were you dreaming about, Terranos? My time there. It wasn't easy. I saw a lot of things no one should ever have to see. Like that guy? The evil king or whatever? What was his name? The God King Lore? Yeah. You really haven't talked about him much. Was he scary? Lore was. You really think you're the first chosen one of Terranos? Ugh. Look at that visage. Jesus. Oh, wow. That'll give you some nightmares. Look at that art. Holy crap. Is that metal or what? Dave Asanowicz, you chime in. You're pretty metal. Whew. Lore was no threat. But he was the king, and you had to kill him to save the. There will be plenty of time for stories later. For now. Damn. Did you hurt yourself fighting Ward? No. This is just pain from an old war wound. Nothing to worry about. Get some sleep. We need to find food and better shelter than this. We have a long day of travel ahead of us tomorrow. Where are they? You just let your son go off with that lunatic? You see this as your chance at redemption, don't you? But you put your son in danger again. This is now 2 sons you've lost. Silent treatment didn't get you anywhere the first time. This is only going to get worse for you, Aaron. Maybe you'll talk to me. Are you the good cop, Wendy? Ha! No, Aaron. I'm too tired to be anything right now. I'm surprised you'd even want to talk to me, considering we have 2 kids together. Can't just erase you from my life. I'm sorry, Wendy. What were you thinking? Mikey and Brennan, you know my dad wasn't exactly dad of the year material, right? I wanted to be there for them every day. Be there for them when they needed me without question. And so, I don't know, your dad took off. Left you and your mother. You're not him, okay? Every bad part of me I got from his side. You didn't leave the boys. I mean, didn't I? I let them run off. It kills me to think that Brooks could be right, but when did I become a bad father? Aaron, no. Wendy, there's something I need to tell you. Mikey, he fought this man in the woods, and he... Okay, we're done here. No more of that. Get up and get out, ma'am. This show is over. Excuse me? Don't make us ask twice, Miss Rhodes. Who the hell are you? Where's Brooks? This farce of an investigation has gone on long enough under his incompetence. My name is Agent Kylan, and I'm with National Security Agency. Your son is no longer a missing persons case. He's a threat. Are you crazy? That water is freezing. It will be invigorating, Brennan. If you're going to be on this adventure together, you need to learn to trust me. Now, jump in. Yeah, no. I'll just take a shower at a rest stop or something. Your lack of outdoor survival skills is surprising. You and Dad are excellent campers. What are you talking about? I have fond memories of us camping together as a family. Are you kidding? When we went once? Dude, Dad sucked at camping. It took him hours to set up the tent. And then we all got food poisoning, remember? What? Are you sure? For sure. That was like a year and a half ago. It was a disaster. You were mostly hanging out with Mom, so I don't think you saw how bad it was. But Mom vowed we would never go again. It was just so long ago for me. Look at that thing on his shoulder. What is that? Splash! If you won't come in here, I'll bring the water to you. Stop! Ha ha ha! Sucks that we had to ditch the car. Then we could have got lunch at Sonic along the way. After we relocate a new campsite, we will find food. How? We will hunt. Ha ha! Wait, are you serious? Most of my training was spent learning how to live on the move, to hunt, to gather. Not every day was spent fighting. I was in a fight not too long ago. I mean, it wasn't like what you do with swords and all that, but... Here. Thanks. But, I mean, I don't know if this is my thing. You will learn. Clang. Whoa. That was rad. It is. The skill for battle runs in our blood. Now come at me. Yeah! Clang. I remember playing like this with toy swords before... Oh yeah? And how you never... Clang. Let me win. Yeah, but I don't have your giant muscles or a power sword now, do I? There is more to war than magic and might, Brennan. Clatang. There is also the mind. Ah. If that is sharper than your sword, you will never lose. Hey, hey, hey! Bear comes stumbling out of the woods. That would be pretty terrifying. Mikey! Remain calm, brother. Leave your weapon. What? Sometimes the best fighting is to know when not to fight. Stay still. We need to, scare it away. I heard we gotta get big and act like we're bigger. No.
That way would work for some. But I believe in a more peaceful approach. Oh, wow. See? Animals like me. I had to live among them for years in Terranos. Those beasts were much more deadly than this bear. It was merely confused by us play fighting. We had invaded its space. It meant us no harm. Thunk!
That came out of nowhere.
It trusted you. That's twice I've seen you kill something, Mikey. And both times were to protect you.
Oh, sorry.
And both times were to protect you. Sacrifices must be made. You were saying you were hungry. Now we have food. You do what you must to survive.
Are you positive Ward is dead?
Without a doubt.
Have you contacted the others? They are aware of the situation. The prophecy we left in place in Terranos must have failed. We have a more pressing concern. Not long before Ward died, I sensed a nevermind. That's impossible. Someone would have to be a carrier for it to enter this world. Who would ever choose to allow Lore's infection to bond with them? The Pale Rider Callista was the last that I knew of. Not her, but I believe I knew who. We can't allow them to find us. Once all of us are removed, the gates will open and Lore's army will flood out with chaos and ruin. What do you suggest? If one of Lore's agents has left Terranos, then we will bring Terranos to them. And that's the end of book 6. Chapter 1 of, I guess you could call it chapter 1 of the Birthright saga. I think there's like 7 or 8 trades now total. Don't miss the next issue. The next exciting issue of Birthright. All right, it's time to check back on the chat. Okay. Let's see. Jordan Pop says, "Dude looks like Triple H." Are you speaking of? Are you speaking of Mikey? I was always thinking that if they made a TV or not TV show, a movie of this, I'm drawing a blank. I do this nowadays as I'm getting older. The name of the actor that played Aquaman. God, why am I drawing a blank? Someone put it in the chat because I don't want to go look it up. I had it in my head and then it just spaces out. And I know I'm gonna see it. I know I'm gonna see it in the chat and just be like, "Yep, there it is." Let's see. Sergeant Bats is in the house, saying something. General Flynn, Storm is here. I don't know what that's about. Skip is just gaming while he listens. You're not even watching. You're not even looking at the book, Skip. That's all right. You can read these again on your own time. The art is so good. Bats remembers. Bats read these books. Momoa, Jason Momoa. That's right. I see this when I read this book. and I go, they should make this in a movie, and Jason Momoa should be Mikey. Like, it's just clear as day to me. I don't know. I don't think that was intentional, but I think it would work perfectly. And I think Jason Momoa, I don't want to say he's a good actor, but when it comes to like a big muscle bound action hero, Jason Momoa is really good, and he's very dedicated to the roles that he plays, which I really appreciate. Uh, you know, it's so sad being a person of the 80s, and when, like, you know, one of my action heroes was Bruce Willis. If you watch any Bruce Willis movie past like year 2000, they're just all like phoned in, just like he could just give two shits like about any movie he's in. Which is why he hasn't made a good movie in years. But like Jason Momoa is the opposite. I always feel like every movie he's in, or even the TV shows, like even the little budget shitty fucking no name cable network no one's ever heard of TV shows that he's been in, he gives it his all. Like he just 100%. And he's got a really good camera presence that it's really hard to find in that type of movie star. So yeah, I would definitely if I could get this made into a movie, I would definitely put him on it. That'd be amazing. Like Sin City. I don't know what that's all about. Tehillim says Bear Burger. Yeah, what's up with that? This just the bear's just like chilling with them, like, hey, yeah, look, you have a way with animals, and like they all love you, and then you just murder them. Man, I hope that there's some sort of really cool salvation for Mikey, but I won't spoil anything for you. Hopefully you guys have gotten to enjoy this book. Hopefully, you know, that helped you spend an hour and a half of time in the Corona apocalypse and get your mind off things. Enjoy comics, because it's another Wednesday, another no new comics, and get to hang out with each other, shoot the breeze, and talk about whatever. Hopefully this might be a book that you'll go pick up on your own and finish. Part of me did consider just reading it. You know, there's like 40 something issues, just making a huge long series of it. But I am quite aware that I am, in a way, just making it so people don't have to buy the book. So a little inner voice inside of me says, if I just do it as a preview and let people buy it, maybe I'm helping to actually move a few volumes of books. Or who knows? Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed Superman. I definitely liked both of them. I don't know what to do next. I think Silver Surfer is going to be high up on the list. Although Fantastic Four is a definite consideration. And Invincible is something I'm thinking about. But see, Invincible, I was told, is like written for the omnibus. So I'm not really sure about that. Speaking of omnibuses and Robert Kirkman, who writes Invincible, FYI, there's a major, big, super new humble bundle right now for The Walking Dead. I don't know. I haven't double checked to see if it's every issue of Walking Dead, but it feels like it is. It says like it's $453 in comics. It's a massive amount of the series at the very least. It's like 30 something trade paperbacks. For, again, minimum, you can get the lowest tier for $1, and the biggest tier you can get for $15 minimum, and you get hundreds of dollars in books. So Tehillim says he has the first trade paperback of this series of Birthright. Cool. You know, actually, Tehillim, you gave me a good idea. You said, like, I could do a Sin City book. I could do some Frank Miller. I bet a lot of modern comic readers haven't read a whole lot of Frank Miller. They might have read like his Batman and his Daredevil, but I'm guessing if you weren't around reading comics in the 90s, most modern fans just don't seem like they would read Frank Miller, Sin City. And Sin City was pretty spectacular. Some of my favorite stuff. Or I could read this Ta-Nehisi Coates' Black Panther. Oh yeah, I would, I would even have less viewers than I have right now. So you guys know how to reach me. I'm in the Discords, which I should boot up right now. I try to make it a habit to go into the voice chat on Discord after every show, and shoot the breeze. Man, last time I ended up talking for like 2 hours with people. That wasn't my plan. I just wanted to shoot the breeze for like 15, 30 minutes. But sometimes conversations, they just have a mind of their own and they go off. So it's never a waste of time if you're enjoying yourself. I hope you guys enjoyed yourself. I hope you'll be back on Friday. Remember, the planned show times are Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays at 10 p.m. Pacific time. That's 3 hours earlier if you're on the East Coast, 2 hours earlier if you're on the Central, and 1 hour earlier if you're in the Mountain. That's how that works. And if you're somewhere else in the world, then you probably actually know about time zones, because only Americans seem to be completely ignorant about time zones. We live in one of, there's not a whole lot of countries that have multiple time zones, but of course America is the one that has, like, I think 5, 6 time zones, and we just don't even know. I've talked to so many people and they're like, what time am I in? I don't know. And you're just like, how can you not know? Oh well, I don't want to get in on that. I want to thank each and every single one of you for showing up. Tehillim says, or you could read Priest's Black Panther. Why do I have to read Black Panther by a black guy, Tehillim? That's racist. Oh, that's probably because they don't have white guys writing Black Panther. Oops. Computer Robot says, oh, Ash, support a real writer, unlike Ta-Nehisi. America has 4 time zones. No, they have 6, because you forgot about Alaska and Hawaii. Boom! We have 6. So, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate you. And I will see you Friday, I hope. Have a good night. Oh, and come to Discord if you want to chat for a little bit.